Welcome back to Venture Away. Today is a showdown between
beaches
and waterfalls.
I am pro beach. I love the water. And we all know that he's a waterfall nerd.
Yeah, I love waterfalls.
So, I love waterfalls too.
I love water as well, just in a different form than the beach.
I love the ocean and yeah.
So we're gonna go to 3 different beaches and 3 different waterfalls, and we'll explain to you guys why we prefer each one over the other. They're just 3 that we picked kind of in order, so we didn't have to drive back and forth all across Puerto Rico.
And while we are pointing out obviously why each one is our favorite, we will give pros and cons of each.
Yep.
And then, yeah, you guys tell us what you think. Do you prefer beaches or waterfalls?
Put it down in the comments if you prefer waterfalls or beaches, and we'll see who the winner is.
First on my list is Playa Mar Chiquita. This beach is super cool. It is formed by 2 limestone rock walls, so it's a half moon natural pool opening. There's tons of people snorkeling here, lots of people swimming, and you can even climb the rock walls back there as well. We are on the top of the rock barrier. We hiked up here and honestly took like 5 minutes maybe, and we were taking our time taking some footage, but I mean, how can you beat a view like this? We are arriving at our second beach, Playa Carcoles. It's in Arecibo. The beach is a little bit tricky to get to when you are driving and following Google Maps or Apple Maps. You will see this building on the side of the road. Pull off, we just parked on the side of the street and you go through this little entrance here, and that's how you get there. Alright, so first beach, we lounged a bit. My favorite things to do at the beach are 1, lounge, 2, I love eating snacks. I also really love snorkeling, and we didn't do that at the first beach, so second beach is where we're going to do hopefully a little bit of snorkeling as long as it's not too wavy. Yeah, I love playing in the waves, so let's go have some fun. We're at beach number 3, La Poza del Obispo, and this one also happens to be a natural pool. We didn't plan it that way, but somehow 3 for 3 beaches were all natural pools, so they're pretty easy to compare. This beach at first glance looks a little bit bigger, and yeah, we'll see what there is to find. Alright, that brings us to the end of our beach segment for this video.
Closer to the end of the video, we'll go over the 3 beaches we went to, just recap them a little bit, maybe some things we liked, some things we didn't like.
And why I love beaches, my top 5 reasons. So now that brings us to
the first waterfall on our list is La Planta Falls. It was originally built to use for hydroelectricity, which it's no longer in use for. Now it's just beautiful waterfalls. When you get here, you actually park near the old hydroelectricity plant. The remains are still there. You're gonna park your car. There's a path right up beside the plant, and you follow that up to the first fall. And there is a path to the second falls. You kind of have to walk through the river about 10 minutes to get to it. So we're gonna try and do both of them, and we'll show you guys where each one is.
Well, we hit a little bit of a roadblock today.
Unfortunately, we had to cut 2 of the waterfalls out of the video, which just left us with La Planta Falls. We were on our way to the next 2, which were both about an hour away. And
Like an hour away, but then close together, right?
yeah, and it was already...
We were pushing sunset,
Yeah.
but we would have had enough time until we got to, which town was it?
Utuado.
And we're not really sure what happened, but we sat in the same spot in this small town for 45 minutes, and it was not appearing to go anywhere soon.
I'm assuming it was an accident. There was multiple ambulances and cop cars that went by. Not much traffic going either way, so...
Anyways, we turned around and we came back home because we were still about an hour and a half away from our Airbnb. But we did see a bunch of waterfalls the previous day.
Yeah.
So that kind of made up
So
for
I still
it.
got my waterfall fix. And I still got to swim in the ones in El Yunque, so that was more worth it. So we missed a couple waterfalls for the showdown, so we're going to need a rematch.
All right,
But
you're on. Anyways, so that brings us to my 5 reasons that I like the beach over waterfalls. And I'm not saying that I don't like waterfalls. I love waterfalls, but if I had to pick and choose, the beach would be my preferred choice. So the first reason is I love the scenery. I love the feeling of you get to the beach and you look out at the ocean. I think it's just gorgeous. I love seeing all the colors of blue. That's my number 1. I have my little list here that I have to refer so I don't forget or repeat the same thing twice. I also love getting like beach snacks and lounging on the beach. Like nothing's better than eating like chips and candy on the beach.
it's pretty good.
I know. It's my favorite. I'm die hard for snorkeling. We also love diving, but that's like, you don't go to the beach to go diving, so that's separate. But I do love snorkeling, or even just taking a mask with you. You get to see like this whole other view that you don't normally see if you're just lounging or even swimming or walking through the water on the beach. Going right under and actually like viewing everything that's down there is so different, and especially in the ocean, it's obviously a little bit different than lakes at home.
Yeah. Actually see.
Yeah. Number 4 is I also just love swimming. I think it's so fun. I was always a fish in the water when I was little, and I could spend hours in the water, pools, oceans, lakes, but I really, really love oceans. And 5, I like that you have options. So like, depending on obviously the beach, you can hike some places. Like today we did some hiking up some rock faces. You can also play games. We love bringing frisbees and volleyballs to the beach, but you can also at the same time just relax and take a nap for hours. So there is my 5 reasons. My 1 downfall of the beach, and I know this is Anthony's too, is the sand.
Yep.
I love the sand. I hate dealing with the aftermath of the sand. When your body is just covered from head to toe, there's no option. You have to shower after the beach. But I will take it because it's worth it.
I think for my 5, the first one would have to be pretty much the same as Mia's, except it's different in the fact that you have to typically hike a fair bit to get to the waterfall, and part of that's the adventure. And once you finally reach that waterfall, the trail just opens up, and you just see, especially if it's a big waterfall, just this gorgeous waterfall coming out of the forest. It's breathtaking.
It is really cool.
That second one would probably be the sound. As you're getting closer, you can just hear the water rushing and like crashing down, and there's just so much power behind it.
But what about the sound of the ocean?
No, it doesn't. It's not the same. You need
love it.
You need
It's
that
soothing.
power from the waterfall. 3, I would have to say, is the refreshing temperature, which you can also probably call cold in most cases.
See, this is why I like the ocean, because a lot of the time it's nice and warm, and I hate being cold.
Yeah, but after you hike to that waterfall and you jump in the fresh running water, it is so refreshing. 4, I would have to say, is the lack of sand.
Okay.
You do have to deal with mud, but mud just rinses off. It's fine. Sand, you have to pressurize.
Okay.
You need high pressure water to get the sand off of your legs.
I understand where you're going with it. Just you took it and you ran and you went too far.
Yep, I got carried away. And
You've got one more.
I had a 5th. I have to check. I didn't go off any notes. The scenery surrounding the waterfall. Whether it be mountains, whether it be lush green forest.
I thought that was the same as your first point, but I see.
No. It's just, it could be anywhere, even if it's in the middle of a snowy forest, anywhere. I don't know, but it's always different. It's always beautiful. Mm-hmm. There's just so much variety around them.
Here's my couple things about the waterfall. Sometimes it's a long hike. It's a long, long hike to get into a waterfall. It's exhausting. Sometimes you just want to go to the beach. However, I've been to some beaches where it takes a little bit to get there too.
Oh yeah.
There was one more. Oh, you can't always swim in them.
That's
what
true.
if you want to swim? Like today, the first one that we went to, which ended up being the only one that we went to, because it's rainy season here in Puerto Rico, the water was rushing really fast, and then the depths at the bottom of the waterfall were really high, and then the currents were obviously super strong.
Yeah.
So we couldn't go in today. And I guess you get that with currents and waves sometimes at the ocean, but I just feel like you have usually more opportunity to go in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, you guys let us know, what do you prefer?
Waterfalls or beaches?
Anyways.
That's it for Puerto Rico?
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned for our next trip.
Yeah.
We'll keep it a surprise. We'll go from there.
Sounds good. See you later.